Here we go.
Great jump for Riley. Chase had a little bit of trouble getting going in the outside lane there.
You know, I think we see that a little bit. I've always felt like the bottom lane launches better for some reason. I don't know if it's because we don't run there, kind of when we're going through the tribal or what, but I usually see that. The bottom lane can launch pretty good, and we saw that right there.
Yeah, this is when you want to be aggressive, but you also want to kind of tiptoe and make sure things are okay. And you see the 23, I think that's Ty Dillon, way up top. And the 31, you knew Reddick was going to be way up there. I didn't think he'd be that high, though.
I bumped into him before we walked over here, and I said, what do you think today? He's like, well, I guess I'm going to be the guy that has to dust off the top lane. And he definitely held up to his word.
That
3 and 4 right there. That's all the way next to the wall.
Let's see a replay of this right here. You see the 23 getting tagged. Oof, just barely.
That's all it takes.
By the 39 of Ryan Sieg. And like you said, guys, I mean, you got to push on these restarts. You got to go, but whew, it's tight. 3 wide on the first lap.
And that's always
2 times.
and that's always kind of the case here, right? You know, in this, especially in this situation where you have some PJ1 that everybody's kind of nervous about getting up in the PJ1 and really being confident about driving in it. Everybody's trying to get down, but everybody knows they still have to be aggressive and gain all they can.
Yeah, everyone's pinching each other down, trying to get to the bottom, as you see all these lead cars right now, searching for that paint on the bottom of the racetrack. You know, it's hot, it's slick. These guys are lifting a lot. There's not much downforce in these Xfinity cars. They are hanging on out there, and as this run goes and the tires wear, they're going to be slipping and sliding, and they will move up and probably find a dominant lane in that traction compound at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Allgaier Straddle here. He's way out of the gas, on the brake a little bit, pedaling it, not get wide open until there, you know. So it just shows how slick the surface is and how, you know, these cars don't have a lot of downforce on them. It's very different from our Cup cars. You know, our Cup cars, we have a lot more downforce and we go through the corners with a lot more throttle, and this is just a different style of it.
And this isn't anything to be surprised about. Here's the JRM cars moving up through the field. They didn't have a good qualifying effort. You see Noah Gragson just 2 cars up there in front of him, just passing this 0 car here. I don't know who drives that, but
Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Jeffrey Earnhardt, there you go. So they're all moving up forward here right now.
Well, this is a racetrack where the racetrack's going to go through a ton of swings, you know, as far as in a tire run, you know, burning fuel off and the way that the car handles in these Xfinity cars. And, you know, I think as you see qualifying is an impound situation, which means you can't do anything to the car other than some wedge and some tape and air pressure. And I think a lot of times when you're adjusting for a balance on the race car where you want the car to be tight, it's hard to get it tight enough or in qualifying in order to make the car drive like you want it to in the race. And I think you know, when I drove these cars, that was the case a lot. You didn't qualify well because you wanted to have your balance right in race trim, and it was hard to get it right in qualifying trim.
Absolutely.
Well, we've got everything started, and now we know what we're talking about when the cars are racing on the track. So let's go to break. Welcome back to NASCAR Xfinity Series Racing from Charlotte on FS1, presented by Credible.com.
Blaney, that's
While
your
we
brother.
were gone, yeah, stole your stash.
Stole it.
We had a lead change while we were gone, guys.
Yeah, you see Hemrick, we talk about paint, kind of painting the line there. And it's big at Atlanta. It's big here, I feel like. And Hemrick just got his left sides on the line, and Riley slipped up a little bit, and Daniel was able to take advantage of it and start to pull away a little bit.
Guys, and it seems like, as these tracks get a little bit older, you still see him searching that paint on the bottom. That paint actually has more grip. That's why they're down there than the actual asphalt on the racetrack, and you search for that. We didn't have that last week in the rain, guys, but
It was less grip on the paint.
But when it's dry, you see all these drivers searching for that paint, trying to get down on it. You got to be so disciplined to get on it.
Christopher, what do you have on the 98?
Yeah, guys, so this is turning out to be a really big day for the 98 of Riley Herbst. We just saw him get past for the lead, but that collected his first pole. I know this year hasn't been off to where he wanted it to be, but a great run so far.
Yeah, and that's such a, he's such a great kid. I got to spend a lot of time with Riley and his dad last week in the hauler, and just listening to his determination and his willingness to change and do things is something that you have to be open-minded in this sport in order to progress and do the things that you want to do. So it's great to see Riley getting some results this weekend. Only thing that makes me nervous, Joey, the back of that car is wagging around a little bit. We're not to 20 yet.
They're all a little loose right now.
Yeah.
Eric, you got something on the 16. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm down here listening to the 16 radio, and it sounds like he's got his hands full, talking about he's saying he's going to wreck in both ends of the racetrack right now. Way too loose. He just can't do anything to move up into that PJ1 and keeping an eye on him and what he's got going on. It looks like he's trying to work up, getting that PJ1 going and get the thing a little bit tighter for him.
Yeah, Blaney and I were talking about that during the commercial break, that AJ Allmendinger was probably the only car, especially up in 3 and 4, and you saw him there a minute ago up in it, trying to make it work. That's one of those things, when your car's out of control, you're just forced to try anything. He's going for it.
I just looked at Tyler Reddick through 3 and 4, and he was up against the fence. So he's really searching, and he's done the same thing in 1 and 2. So we knew he was going to be up there. Like we said, AJ, we're starting to see more people start to run that second lane. Obviously, Tyler is taking it to a new extreme and just saying heck with it and going up there. But I think it's starting to come in, and the lap times are kind of showing that. AJ's run some pretty good lap times. So I think
gosh.
it's slick up there.
I don't think it's working for him, but it looks really cool.
It does look really cool. And I'm super happy that he's up there.
Yeah,
I don't know
me
about
too.
you guys, but he's definitely – I mean, if it starts gaining any speed at all, or if it gets close, then other guys will start going up the racetrack and trying to do something different. And that's really what the PJ1 is for. You got to have different lanes to race with in order to make a good race. And unless somebody runs up there and gets it activated, it's not going to go.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a pretty smart move what Tyler Reddick's doing, too. He might not have the fastest car today. He needs to find a lane that is unique and can make him fast, that everyone else is, quite honestly, is scared to go up there and do it.
Yeah, that's a great point, and that's spotters are really big at that. As we see a really good battle here between Chase Briscoe and Cindric. Cindric's kind of been putting some pressure on him here the last few laps, and able to run a little bit lower off 4. And man, the top 5, really, second through 5th are pretty close together here. We got a really good race as we come to the comp caution.
Definitely looks like the 22 has a long run car. A few laps ago, Ty Gibbs was pushing him and looking like he was going to pass the 22. Fast forward 5 laps, the 22 is moving forward. So you might have some comers and goers throughout this one.
And I don't know about you guys. I always thought when we had PJ1 here, I always thought it was better through 1 and 2 than 3 and 4 for some reason. I felt like it was just more grip over there. So I see a lot of people moving up to the second lane in 1 and 2, and maybe not so much in 3 and 4, but we'll see how that kind of changes throughout the race.
Yeah, and I feel like when we have this competition caution, that's really when the cards are going to start unfolding as we go through the strategy piece of it. Because watching these cars right now, like I know AJ Allmendinger's screaming, but everybody looks like they're out of control.
And I think there's not going to be many cars pitting. I think if you pit this competition caution, you put yourself in a bind for late in the race. You're going to run out of tires in case you have a late race caution. I think a lot of cars are going to be forced to stay out. So good luck restarting on 20 lappers after this comp caution.
Yeah, good luck being the crew chief having to tell the driver that you got to stay out.
17 to the wall.
Oh, man. Well, the good news is we have a crew chief on staff today, so let's go find out from our crew chief exactly what we should do. Oh, we got some contact with the wall here. 17 car.
That's Cody Ware, I believe.
Chad, what are we doing? Are we pitting for tires or staying on the racetrack?
Guys, I think right now with 4 sets of tires laying on pit road for us to use for the rest of the race, you're going to be probably pretty smart if you keep the tires that you've got in the car right now and do not come down pit road. I think at the end, that last stage, you're going to want to have a little float. We've seen a little bit over a second of fall off so far already in the race in the first 20 laps. Once we get to the end of the event and they get those quick cautions, I think you're going to want some tires. We need to stay out on the racetrack this time.
Oh,
He's
man.
right, but I don't like it.
I hate it. You are in the wrong broadcast today to be delivering that news, Chad.
He's on an island on his own.
Absolutely. Some pretty heavy contact there with the 17 car. But strategy is unrolling here. So we will see what happens when we come back. The Fox Bet Super 6 app is giving you a chance to win Clint's brand new Camping World RV and $25,000 for free. Just download the app and pick 6 race outcomes about Stage 2 of the Coca-Cola 600 for your shot to win. It's free to play. Don't miss out and play now. I thought Clint quit driving. How's he got money now?
I don't know, but winning 25 grand's great, but winning it from Clint makes it even better.
So look at this, Michael showing off on the drone.
Mikey.
And Caleb. There's 2. So I didn't know this. There's 2 guys that operate that. I'm guessing that is Michael. Caleb is the cameraman. I couldn't do that. I'd get sick if I was wearing a VR headset and doing that.
I'd fall face first.
I wonder what his lap time is.
I don't know.
Get that thing zinging around here.
Lap time?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Well, Chad was right. Crew chiefs won. Most everybody stayed out. We had a few pit, but none of our front runners. So I can't imagine that the conversation on the radio was great.
No, but at least it's the same for everybody, right? When you're the only one out there on old tires, you're like, what did we just do? But everyone's on old tires. You're coming to the choose here. And this is where it gets kind of tricky, guys, because your choose decision's different if you have new tires compared to old tires and what to do here, and especially as a traction compound's coming in. This is a hard decision.
Yeah, and as Blaney talked, we know the top is not as good. So, I mean, how many do you give up on the bottom before you start choosing the top?
But then the PJ1 seems like it's getting activated too, so you might want to be in the second lane.
Yeah.
For the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I'll be curious to see how everything plays out. We see Hemrick take the bottom. I think that was a smart move as the leader, trying to get a better launch.
Yeah, that launch on the bottom lane seems to have a better, being able to hook them up and get going. But I think when you get to the corner, you might want to be on the top side as that traction compound definitely comes in.
Yeah, it's just going to depend on how many you lose on the launch, right? If you can time that launch and only lose one spot, you'll probably make that up when you get to the corner.
There will be wheel spin, though. That's one thing we can be sure of.
That's
Christopher, what do you got down there?
Yeah, guys, so the 98 group actually told Riley to try running the top out under that last green flag run, just in case he got in position, which he is now to restart on the top. Eric?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to me. I've been keeping my eye on Josh Berry down here, and it's his first time today at Charlotte, first time at a lot of places this year for him, and he's in 13th right now. Been doing a solid job and keeping the thing up, a little bit tight in the center, but interesting to watch. First time at Charlotte, I think this is a tough place, especially in the daytime. It's slick and changes every time a cloud comes in or the sun comes back out, so I've been keeping an eye on him and how he's doing back there today.
He is consistent. I love the Josh Berry story. I love the fact that Dale Jr. has given him the opportunity to go out and do what he's done. See him pick up Tire Pros as a sponsor. I mean, that whole thing is kind of a storybook, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely been fun to watch. Let's tune into the old 22 car and listen to Austin Cindric and Coleman Presley spot this restart.
3. Half off use AJ. Equal momentum. Squares half. Staying square, still outside. No push up top. No push up top. Still outside door. Still outside quarter. Bumper. Still hanging there. Still outside quarter. He's got a quarter panel. Still there. He's got a quarter. He's still there. All by himself. One back behind. His help's going to get there quicker. After the 99, it is clear. Make sure you get everything reset when you can. Still there. Door. Quarter. Clear. No pressure. Nothing will come at you here. Goodbye, 3.
Yeah, and these restarts are just crazy. You saw a car in the back, all sideways. We thought he was crashing. We all our hands up in the booth here thinking it was going to be a caution. But speaking of, here we do have a caution in 26 car. Grant Enfinger in his first ever Xfinity start. Looks like he hit the wall fairly hard. It does not sound good inside.
Yeah, and he's been in a tough spot since he really got in there to qualify. He got in there with no practice and kind of replacing the previous driver, and now it's kind of ended in the worst way. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. 8 just barely gets into the back of the 39.
That was a heck of a job by
Oh man, what a great save.
Yep.
Save, didn't lose many spots. And then here you got the so you got one on the outside. Man,
it's not clear.
Yeah.
That's in a strange part of the racetrack too.
Yeah, let's see it from the onboard camera here. Maybe.
Just
out.
not enough room there. We'll be back to Charlotte in a minute. As we remember and honor those who gave their lives in service to our country this Memorial Day weekend, Fox Sports is proud to support Dreams for Veterans, a program of Dream Foundation. Dream Foundation is the only national dream granting organization for terminally ill adults, and the Dreams for Veterans program grants final dreams for our service men and women, providing them comfort and closure at the end of life.
Kevin, this is what this weekend's all about. Memorial Day. You know, we always talk about Memorial Day being a big race weekend. That's not what it's about. You know, we're able to do what we do because of the men and women that sacrificed everything for strangers, for people they've never met. That, to me, is always mind-boggling how that's even possible. Not just them, but their families, their wives, their husbands, their kids. I know how it is for me, Kevin. I hate leaving the house for 3 days and not seeing my family. Imagine doing that for 3 months, 6 months, or forever. That is absolutely incredible. That's what this weekend's about. It's not about racing. It's about remembering everybody that has fought and is still fighting for our freedom in this country.
And our sport does it so great. You know, I think when you look around at the weekend here, and you see the things that the Speedway does, you see Goodyear put, you know, the words on the tires. You see Xfinity put the windshields, you know, red, white, and blue. You see the names of the fallen soldiers on our windows. So it's just a great weekend to be a part of our sport, and no sport does it better than NASCAR. No.
Completely
Absolutely.
agree.
Christopher?
Yeah, guys, so the 51 came down here. You said he didn't take tires. He was actually on the splitter too hard, so they wanted to make sure that they could get some packer in there where they could have or get 4 tires at the next stop and not lose any time putting packer in.
And that's really something that's hard to see, right? You know, there's so many bumps going into turn 3 and in the middle of turns 3 and 4, and it compresses so hard into turn 1 that if the splitter's wrong here, oh man, it's a handful.
Yeah.
Let's hear what the 13 said after the crash.
He tried to throw a block. I was there. I know. I saw what happened. Bailed on the move, but when he went to block it, I bailed, but I couldn't get out of the gas until the brake fast enough.
Well, that answers that question, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably right.
You see that. It gets tight in the tri-oval, you know, and
hard place to see at times too, and you're trying to get through. It gets tight. What I saw interesting about this restart, guys, is you see the front row there. Hemrick took the bottom. Cindric was second and also took the bottom. He took third place, overtaking the front row. Riley Herbst saw the opportunity to get the front row. We'll see how this one plays out.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that had to do with what happened in turn 3, right? He had the bottom of the racetrack, and it just seemed to be better down there on the last restart.
Surprised how well they're able to hook him up on these restarts.
Yeah, Riley got a really good start. He got a better start this time than last time. See how it works out for him. Seems like the bottom is a little bit better, but it looks like he's going to clear Austin down the back, so that paid off for him.
Got him. Wow. And you got the 16. You know, we heard of A.J. Allmendinger hanging on to that car, is driving really bad. He still hasn't had a pit stop to fix it, but he's doing a good job being able to make something of it on these restarts, working that top side in that traction compound. I think Austin Cindric might be looking at it a little different next time as that top lanes really come in as this race keeps going.
Yeah, and I think right here with the sevens visor cam of Justin Allgaier, you'll really get to see his head bounce up and down as we go through the corners here. There's a big bump right there that kind of jars your neck. But turns 3 and 4, for me, have always been the most difficult. Really see the bumps right there.
Yeah, and I always say turns 3 and 4, I don't know what it is, but it feels like a cobblestone road. They're just so bumpy, and the car's not hitting all the bumps at the same time, but just each tire seems like it has to work individually. Very challenging to get around that corner.
And I feel like that gets worse as the race goes on, and those bumps get rubbered up, and they get even a little bit harsher and a little bit finer than what they are when the weekend starts.
Especially when there's a car on your outside. You're hanging on down there. We've all been there.
Oh, yeah. See a lot more cars in the middle there, Ryan.
I do. You know, I feel like it's, and the sun's popped out. This is probably the first time the sun has actually came out when this race has been going on. So you see the majority of cars up on in the middle lane. Honestly, Hemrick is still running the bottom and looking really good. But as the sun gets out and the bottom starts to slick off, and the PJ1 starts to heat up more and more cars running it, I feel like that's going to come even more. Eric Jones, what do you got on Jeb Burton?
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on him down here, guys. And he started in 9th, and he's now up to 6th and hunting down Riley Herbst for 5th. He was on the radio talking about just being a little bit too free, but kind of interesting to talk. He thought the left front was too far down and the right rear was too far up. So it sounds like some kind of platform complaint that I thought maybe you guys could expand on. Christopher?
Yeah, guys, so the 9 car definitely have not had the weekend that they're looking for so far. Chattering the rear tires. As you guys know, that's not a comfortable feeling here at Charlotte.
No, not fun at all.
I'll tell
Good
you.
luck fixing that, too. Once the race starts, that's a hard one to fix. I think all you can do is just tighten it up.
Now, one thing to me that, Jeb Burton looks really fast right now. He just moved into 5th. His car looks to be rotating good, and he said he was a little bit free. And I feel like the PJ1 always kind of tightens you up. So if he was a little bit loose to start off the race and the PJ1 comes in, it might be, secured the back of the car better, but it's still turning. So that's what I've seen is he's really gotten fast here towards the, end of this stage.
Yeah, and we see
what happened, here with Riley Herbst. He's going backwards fairly quick. We saw him be able to get to 2nd place on this restart, and just looks like he's struggling right now trying to get that car going.
Yeah, we talked earlier about the back of that car moving around, and as you get to the end of 45 laps here, 40 laps or so here into the run, it's not fun if your car is too loose.
You can definitely see it. And as you get back in dirty air, isn't that right, Kevin? The further back you get, it doesn't get better for you. It just keeps getting worse. Clean air is everything, and that's what that car had to start this race. And it seems like as that's going away, it's going to be more and more challenging for him.
Well, and as you listen to these in-car cameras and as they go through the corners, it's a lot of out-of-throttle time. And, I think as we go through this race and you see everybody starting to move up the racetrack, that's really where that outside will start to prevail. Not only does it have more grip, but it's going to allow you to be in the throttle a little bit more, and that pays off down the straightaway. So, you can see the direction of the racetrack is starting to change a little bit as they move up the racetrack into this run.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it now as you follow along with Justin Haley. The top lane is in, guys. Their traction compound is now the dominant lane. It's where you want to be. It's where the speed is going. Watching the leaders down in 1 and 2 right now, they are up top, all of them. Top 4 cars up in the PJ1, ripping it.
And I think, as we get running and you run more and more in the PJ1, I'll be curious to see when we start moving up even higher. Trying to get up in the 3rd lane or at the wall, because eventually that PJ1 is going to start wearing away a tiny bit. So I'll be curious to see, now that everyone's running in it, how long until we actually start moving up even more and try to go find a little bit fresher PJ1.
Well, we know who the first guy will be.
Follow those fluorescent yellow numbers on that 31.
So I've been watching him, and he's running the bottom now. So I don't understand what's going on.
He just wants to be different.
Yeah.
Here coming outside.
Christopher, what do you got on the 9?
Middle.
So we just talked about how the 9 was loose. Well, look where he's at on the racetrack. He's moving up into the PJ1. And I know my cars, anytime that I was loose, I was looking for that grip, and it looks like it's starting to come in.
Well, I said the same thing for A.J. Allmendinger. We talked about it earlier, how he said his car was out of control. He's just trying not to crash. Well, he's a half second behind the leader, has a shot at winning the stage.
Yeah, and the pole was a 29.43, I believe. And the leader just ran a 31.98.
That's fun.
That is fun. And as drivers, that's what you want, right? You want the lap times to fall way off, and you want the groove to move around. That's what makes it challenging in order to figure out how to make your car work.
Yeah, and here you see a couple of junior motorsports cars still trying to work their way up through the field. I'm sure Justin Allgaier is not too happy about his progress so far in this race. Still only 16th, trying to work his way up. It's going to be a long challenge, I think, for these guys today, trying to get some track position.
Let's hear the 11 radio.
About sidewall is good, so we need to determine if your wheel is moved right here, because if we stop to check the toe, we're going to be in the back, but might as well do it now instead of mess with it later.
Sounds like we hit the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit something. Anytime you're talking about seeing it, sometimes if you hit the wall, you hit another car, it can knock your toe out, and maybe sometimes you can tell by the clocking of your steering wheel. We all have a orange or yellow stripe on your steering wheel. If it's a little bit off, a lot of times it says that your toe's a little bit off, and you want that right. There's a lot of speed in the front end.
Well, we're coming to 1 to go in the stage here, and Daniel Hemrick has pretty much been in charge since he has taken the lead early in the race.
Still see though, those top 4 cars are still all very close to each other. Clean air is probably going to be the difference right now for Hemrick. And I'd say these pit stops coming up are going to be entertaining to see who can get that.
Daniel Hemrick, who's still looking for that first win, but
look at this run.
Oh my goodness.
Woo!
Hemrick is coming to the start-finish line to win his 4th stage of 2021.
Big race to the line here.
Gaggle of them there.
That's for 7th, 8th, and 9th. That was fun.
Yeah, Noah Gregson came from deep in the field to score some stage points there. But Daniel Hemrick, he's the guy that won stage 1. Great run for those guys to get the race started here in Charlotte.
I'm gonna take one of those bars.
Welcome back to NASCAR Xfinity Series Racing from Charlotte on FS1, presented by Credible.com. Well, the drivers are finally going to be happy because they are going to get to come to pit road and put some new tires on, Joey.
For Mr. Feelgoods, give them to me. I bet after that many laps, that many heat cycles,
yep.
I think they even qualified on those tires. They want some. Christopher Bell will be first. You see him coming at you, bud?
Yeah, guys. So first I got the 18 car. He actually went a little bit tight early in the race on the bottom, and as he moved up, he lost a little bit of rear grip. Now it's a little bit opposite on the 99 car. He was too tight in the traction compound looking to get freed up here. Eric?
Yeah, we got the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger coming down into pit road, and for him, he's just been way, way too loose since the start of this race. Says the front end feels almost too positive, and they're going to have to tighten that thing up a little bit for him. The 54, the Ty Gibbs slides into his box, and for him, he just needs a little bit better turn, center, and exit. We've kind of been struggling with the same thing all weekend long, so they're going to go ahead and make an adjustment here to try to help him out with that.
Well, I got to say, I'm really impressed with our pit road reporters
They're
today.
doing really good.
You guys are doing great down there. So Keep
way,
that up.
way better than when Blaney was down there.
That's why they got me out of there. I'll tell you.
If you guys
up here eating donuts.
if you don't hear anything, Blaney's up here eating donuts.
I'm eating a donut. All right, I just finished my donut. Let me call up Daniel Hemrick, stage winner. Hey, DH, try and Blaney up in the booth. You got me.
Yes, sir. I got you there, Blaney.
You sound very excited. Great job in stage 1, man. You looked really good up front in that 18. Tell us a little bit about your car and how's that PJ1 coming in?
Yeah, obviously you went through the swing there about 10 to go, from what I could tell. First time anybody's been able to actually get to it, right? We've all seen that this weekend, but so far this Poppy Vane Toyota Supra is really good, man. It's maneuverable, does a lot of good things, so, long way to go here, but guys, hope to be able to get a pit stop there. A little bit of ice, cool down this hot summer day, and try to go do it again here.
Well, sounds good. Well, you look good up front. Best of luck to you the rest of the day.
Copy that. Thanks, sir.
And those guys have just been solid, right? I mean, week in and week out. It's just a matter of time before Daniel Hemrick wins a race. He was our stage 1 winner, and we'll see what he can do in the next 2.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Xfinity Series from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Hey, look at this picture here. We're all having a great day here. It's like being at the fair. Ricky's over here. I'm here in the middle. Tell this is superimposed, but Chad, I don't think they had to do anything. You were really there, weren't you?
I'm strategizing for the coin toss. Trying to figure out how to get that stuff in.
Looked like he had a napkin wiping the funnel cake off his face. I feel like that's what that was.
Now, those guys had donuts. We got ice cream. I think we got the better deal here,
I
guys.
guarantee you that. This is a pretty good chocolate chip.
Yeah, I got a little chocolate chip
I had
action
my
in
ice
mine.
cream last night.
Ricky's no fun. He's on a diet or
gave you my
something. I
extra.
don't know. But let's get back to the track. What do you guys got going on there? Did you eat all the donuts,
I
Blaine?
disagree. No, we are not going to run out of donuts. And the only one who, has eaten a donut is Blaney. Joey and I feel bad because they do smell really good. It's hard to pass up a maple donut, but I don't know.
600 miles tomorrow. We can't be eating donuts today.
We'll burn that off in the first.
I guess, but
I can do it with ease, but I might have another one here before too long.
This is breakfast of champions right here. I've got that on good record, good accord, all ready to get ready for 600 miles tomorrow. But Tell us about the race here today. What do you guys see out there? You got Daniel Hemrick winning his 4th stage of the year. Pretty good. You got to feel like he's due to win a race here, and he's right there doing all the right things. And you got Ty Gibbs driving up to the field. What do you think? End of stage 1. What do you guys see out there, guys?
Well, I would agree. I think he's got to win a stage, right? I mean, he won the stage. He's got to win a race. I'll spit it out here shortly.
He's been so close to winning a race so many times, and it almost gets to the point, and I'm sure it's in his head thinking, what's going to happen next, right? Because he's so fast. He wins stages all the time, leads a ton of laps, but he just hasn't broken through to get the win yet. It's got to be frustrating.
I'm sure it is for him, and Daniel does such a great job as they come to the restart here, and looking really good today. Hopefully they can keep it up as we come to the restart zone.
Oh man. Ooh. Ty Gibbs got his first outside line restart lesson there. About how much grip there is on the outside.
Not as much as the bottom. We've seen that happen a couple times now. But we also saw Riley Herbst be able to restart fairly well up there. So every car is different, right? Just because one car can restart good doesn't mean all of them are the same. Setup does have a big part of being able to hook your rear tires up on restarts.
And once they start spinning here, oh man,
you're done.
It is so hard to get traction and try to get the cars going in the right direction.
And you see a 2x2x2. Everybody searching for clean air. There isn't any up in that traction compound. The bottom lane's stacked. They're going to see that this top lane's going to roll here. You're going to want to find a way up.
And it's always a little bit different with that PJ1 after you have a long caution and the cars aren't up there activating it. It seems like it takes a couple laps to get going, doesn't it?
I don't know if it's cleaning it or activating it or what it is, but I know it doesn't have grip for a couple laps before that. And when it comes in, you want to be the first one up there because that's where you're going to start moving forward.
Yeah, and I feel like the most unique thing to me is a lot of the 18 can make a lot of time on the bottom. As we look at the restart with Ty and Austin Cindric here, Ty spins the tires and Austin gets in the bumper and definitely doesn't help it out. And you'll see that kind of stack up happens a lot when, obviously the person in front spins their tires and you get that little accordion effect.
That's always such a hard place to be, too. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Like, you want to push the guy in front of you and get him going, but you don't want to have him light the tires up because then it really just hurts the whole lane and it stacks everything up like you saw there. It's like a fine line. You want to try to time it to where once he gets the throttle wide open in second gear, then you're there to push him and get him going a little bit more. If you do it too soon, you just knock his rear tires loose. So hard to time that just right, especially in this Xfinity car.
And you're responsible for how far you make it forward, as being the second guy in line on the outside. You need that push, and the guy in front knows he needs to get going, and sometimes it's just impossible to get the rear tires to grip. But they worked it all out somehow.
It's all good. They're still 4th and 5th. Long race to go.
It's kind of 50-50 right now. You see Daniel Hemrick on the bottom. He's got that clean air. His car seems to be working well on the bottom. And then it's kind of 50-50 as far as who's on the bottom and who's in the middle right now.
You see Chase Briscoe here trying to work the bottom. Trying to make a nice pass on Jeb Burton. I've seen him make a couple passes on the bottom since this restart here. So he seems like a car that's really good on the bottom. I feel like at this point, if you see cars being able to complete passes on the bottom, they are probably the better car for sure because the dominant lane is up right now.
That's right. We had Reddick speeding on pit road under the last caution, and he's gained 13 spots already. So, and he's doing it all on the bottom, which you have to if everyone's running the middle lane. So we'll see and keep track of his progress as he tries to work his way back up
so
to the
disappointed.
front.
I know. I want to see him. I want to see him doing it in the top lane, but he's the exact opposite of where he was earlier. But he is going forward. So Daniel Hemrick still in control of this race as we go into stage 2. We'll see where he goes with the rest of it. Welcome back to NASCAR Xfinity Series Racing from Charlotte on FS1, presented by Credible.com.
See some of the great camera work there. Let's see, Tyler Reddick. You know he's moving all over the track, trying to move up forward. Woo, little loose, trying to find a hole to get back in line.
Not clear.
Oh no!
He's working hard, man. I'll give that to him. He's trying to make up some ground. He's got a fast car. I mean, he's been running really good lap times and trying to get back up there.
Let's take a look at today's Ford Performance Track Facts.
Now, Brian Wilson won 3 of the last 6 Charlotte races, 3 different drivers. Me, Joey, and Brad. Brian Wilson does a good job.
I'd say he's doing all right.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's the driver, but I can't say that. It must be the crew chief because one with 3 drivers.
You guys were just talking about Ty Gibbs and how well his car is handling through turns 3 and 4.
Looks like the 22 as well. It seems like the bottom and the top all can be able to work both ways. Eric, what do you got on Justin Allgaier?
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on him, and he's worked his way up into the top 10 here. Said he's just struggling with a tight condition right now, especially after that pit stop. Kind of killed the front grip on that race car. But more interesting, I thought, this weekend is that he's working with a new spotter in Tyler Mond, who's Kyle Larson's spotter in the Cup Series. But it's kind of interesting. I thought you guys could talk about how tough it is to work with a new guy, especially with the choose cone rules and pit road and everything that comes along with that. Christopher?
Yeah, guys, so the 98 Riley Herbst won the pole, led the first couple laps, and started falling back. Reported that he is plowing tight, needs a lot of help to get freed up there. Also, the 68 of Brandon Brown lost his helmet hose. Fortunately, it's cooled off a little bit since the start of the race, but nonetheless, still going to be a really uncomfortable ride in that car today.
Yeah. When you lose your helmet hose on a hot day, that is your air. That is all you got. It's 100. I always say it's 30 to 40 degrees warmer inside the cockpit of these race cars than it is on the outside air temp. That means it's probably 120 degrees in the car today.
Yeah. And these cars are they're just hot. And you're working really hard here today at Charlotte. And the Xfinity cars in general are they're just hotter than the Cup cars.
Yeah.
Let's hear some 16 radio here.
Guys out back, they're driving in farther than you, but you're getting to the fuel quicker and able to pull away a little bit on exit of 4 here. Looks good.
I mean, 18th right rear is so good. Yeah, we're just losing the right rear. Struggling.
I know we're struggling, but I feel like they are too. We'll come up with a plan on the next stage here.
And we heard Eric mention about the new spotter this weekend, and you hear the spotter trying to tell you what to do there, tell AJ what to do in his car there. How do you guys take that? It can kind of go both ways, right? Because you're trying to do something in a car, the car's not handling well. How do you take that, Joey?
It's just a whole new piece, right? The spotter is so important these days because it's not just someone telling you where other cars are. You rely on them for so much information about the cars behind you, the cars in front of you. And then, Eric also brought up the choose rule. How do you guys go about the choose rule? Everybody does it a little bit differently. On who you maybe count the bottom cars, count the top cars, trying to figure out where you want to be. You've got to be on the same wavelength with your spotter and know what the driver's thinking almost before you even talk about it, because you don't have time to communicate out there. You don't have time to talk about it and go, what'd you say, or what do you mean when you say that? So it takes some time to get a hold of that over time.
Yeah, we see the 68 car go over those bumps and slide sideways, but that's what makes this Xfinity racing here at Charlotte so much fun. Unilever's United for America campaign starts Camp for Heroes, a place created for our heroes to repurpose their lives as they readjust to civilian life. Camp for Heroes' mission is to create a place of tranquility, relaxation, learning, and rebuilding for veterans and first responders. Visit campforheroes.org to find ways to support.
That was a good read, Kevin. You did a good job right there.
Oh, man.
That's a long read.
Yeah, well, luckily I have my glasses today and I can see what I'm doing.
They had to enlarge the font for Kevin to see it, so that's.
I definitely wasn't reading it off the screen. The font was not big enough.
Look at Tyler Reddick since the last restart. He's up 20 spots. We've been talking about him. He's all over the racetrack. There's times he's up top. There's times he's on the bottom. You know, when you're moving through the field like that, you just have to go where they're not. And you see his progress there. One of the only cars really able to pass a lot out there. So definitely has a piece. Looks loose, though.
It does look loose. Eric, what do you have on the 54 down there?
Yeah, I've been listening to his radio and just been complaining about being loose the last few laps. And the spotter was saying it looked like they threw out a boat anchor. But Ty Gibbs moved around and found something and said it's starting to work a little bit better here after about 25 laps. Only air pressure adjustment on that last stop. Maybe look to make something a little bit different here on the next one. Christopher?
Yeah, guys, the 2-car of Myatt Snyder, a race winner earlier this year on a 1.5 mile at Homestead, Miami, actually down his cylinder today. So it's going to be a long race for him, already down a lap.
That's not fun.
Not fun at all.
We heard that a while ago. He came off pit road, they had the hood up, and when he left the stall, he didn't sound as crisp as normal.
No, you can tell it, not even looking at the racetrack, you can tell when he goes by.
Yeah, yes, for sure. You can hear that one come by.
We got the 2 Burtons in the race today. They always kind of try to find their way around each other in these races, it seems like.
Now, I was watching qualifying, and did I hear this correctly that Jeb Burton was going to wrestle with a python or something along that line?
It's news to me. I know one thing, I'm not doing it.
Says yes.
Jeb's doing that?
Apparently. Have you seen the videos of his dad?
I've seen Ward do some stuff. I guess it runs in the family. That's something I don't think you'll see anyone in this booth do.
I'm going to be out on the python wrestling. That's something that I guess only Jeb and Ward can be able to do. But
we had a black snake on the porch the other night, and I closed the doors and called Delana. That's how I feel about snakes. So any snake's a bad snake. Is what it is. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. You saw it all. Daniel Hemrick is still leading. And for me, guys, like, this is when you really start to find out how good your car is. Well, first we'll look at our guy here, Tyler Reddick. He's exciting
loose
everywhere. He's very loose.
He is loose, and he's trying. Look at that! Oh, look how much wheel to the right! Oh my goodness gracious! He has got his hands full, but he's making the most out of that car. You know, it's Jordan Anderson's car out of Columbia, South Carolina. Small team, really cool to be able to see, that team go like that. Jordan Anderson is marrying Larry Mack's daughter here soon, I believe. America's crew chief, and I think Larry Mack might say tighten that thing up. I don't know if he set that car up or what happened, but might need to tighten her up. You see Ryan Sieg loose too.
All these guys battling for the last stage spot here, trying to get their stage point, the one stage point that's available for 10th.
So what I'm kind of getting here is, as I feel like I've seen a lot more cars really, really loose this run. Like, everyone was a little tight at the beginning to run up in the PJ1. They're like, free me up. I got to turn better to run faster. And now everyone has got their hands full. So maybe now they can kind of go in between some changes. They can back off on maybe some of the changes they made in the first stage to see if they can get that little balancing act. But the 18 has been looking very spectacular as we have a great battle here for 9th and 10th.
Yeah, it definitely is. And Blaine, you bring up a good point about adjusting your race car. I'm always a fan of getting to the other side of the fence. Don't make a small change and ease up on it. Get me to the other side, and then let's find somewhere in the middle. Sometimes you don't know how far you need to go until it's too late.
Well, Daniel Hemrick's having a day so far. Stage 1 winner. He's worked his way through traffic well. The sun has been out. The clouds have been covered. And his car just seems to be handling good in pretty much every condition. So Daniel Hemrick, for the first time, will sweep the first two stages.
Oh, Ty Gibbs sliding through the grass.
Good thing turf.
Got the AstroTurf. There it is.
Turf.
Not ripping the nose off. That car's going to be just fine. They'll put some tires on it. He's going to have his work cut out going back through the field. Be definitely something fun for us all to watch.
But that's okay. The splitter is still on it.
He's good to go. Put some tires on and let it rip.
Should not be penalized for spinning out. And Charlotte Motor Speedway's done a great job of putting some synthetic turf down.
Here you see what's happening. Racing coming to the stage in on the bottom. We're going to have a lap car also. Oh, we're going to run out of room.
Ooh.
And down he goes spinning. Now, I tell you guys, a couple years ago, before this turf here, that car is killed. The nose comes right off it. Yep. It's going to be done. The turf doing its job.
Well, thank you, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Yeah. We appreciate you keeping Ty Gibbs' car intact. Welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Just in time for pit stops. Our leader, Daniel Hemrick, leads them down to pit road. Let's go down to Christopher.
Yeah, the 18 just hits his box there. Pretty happy with this car, a little bit tight, and feels like the right front's giving up over the long run and complaining about the bumps. The 9 of Noah Gregson, really happy with his balance. Started off loose in the day, but now he's pretty happy, asking for his crew chief to just adjust the car in whatever direction he thinks it's going.
16 AJ Allmendinger in here, and he's been very vocal on the radio today about being too free, but his car's pretty quick. They're going to make another change here to help him out with that and get him down and away. The 22, Austin Cindric, says he always struggles here in the daytime with being too free, so they tried to tighten her up this time around and have now gotten on the other side of being too tight, so making an adjustment to help with that.
And this racetrack just keeps changing. The sun has been out for a while now, and as you guys, and we talked at the beginning of the show, as the sun stays out, this place just gets slimier.
Yeah, it definitely does. Let's check in with AJ Allmendinger. Hey, AJ, it's Joey Logano up here in the Fox booth. You got a copy on us?
I got you, man.
Well, you've been fun to watch. We saw early in the race you said you were just trying to keep the thing going straight, and then you finished second in the first stage. You ran really well in the second stage as well. How's it going? Do you get it fixed up a little bit?
Yeah, the Hyper-Ice Chevy's got speed in it, obviously. Running up front like this, it's awesome. College Racing brings really fast Chevys every week. Just can't quite have it hit the sweet spot yet. The track keeps changing a lot. PJ1 kind of going in and out here. We'll keep fine-tuning it. It's still a long race to go, but Friday, everybody at College Racing again bringing some fast Chevys.
Yeah, you guys definitely have. I know all of Dinger Nation is cheering for you, man. Have a good one.
Thanks, brother.
I love the fact that you had to get the Dinger Nation.
I had to get Dinger Nation in there. That was the best.
Yeah, that's throwing it way back.
It was.
Logano Nation.
Harvick Nation. This was before Blaney.
Way back.
I have no nation.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Xfinity Series, drivers only broadcast. halfway through the race. We're having fun here in the studio. We're having fun in the booth. I think the graphics department at FS1 is having a little fun too. Got Joey Logano with a little brisket. Harvick over there. I don't know if he's helping.
Man, I wish we could have had some of that barbecue before our ice cream.
I don't even like barbecue.
I mean, right?
Yeah, we got to get our order right.
Oh,
but man, it's been a good race so far. Yeah, halfway through, we got a lot of action. Daniel Hemrick wins the second stage of the race.
Looking strong.
He looks
Looking
real strong.
I think there's so many people pulling for Daniel Hemrick to get his first win.
Local
Obviously.
boy.
Huh?
Local boy.
Yeah,
Local boy.
It's a home track for him, but other action going on. The 16, Justin Allgaier. Pad pit stop here. He was running second the stage. Let's take a look at it, see what happened here, Chad. Take us through it.
Yeah, the tire changer up front, he kind of stutters on a lug nut, so the jack man is really doing a good job of paying attention, because if the tire changer hadn't gotten that lug nut back on there, he was going to jack it up so they made sure that wheel was tight. So he actually did a good job, but it's amazing to me. They had a 14.6 second pit stop. Even in the Xfinity series, just like the Cup series, a fast pit stop like that, you lose positions. You need to have really fast pit stops in every top division of NASCAR to be competitive.
Yeah, lost 4 spots right there. That's going to hold him back for the restart. We'll have to see what he can do. But let's get it back to the track. Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney up in the booth, getting ready to go back racing, guys.
All right, thank you, Brad. And Chad's right. I mean, no matter what series you're in right now, track position is always of the utmost importance.
And it's going to continue to be that way as the competition stays close. The lap times are all so close to each other, it's very challenging to pass. If you're not way faster than the guy in front of you, how do you pass him? On pit road, on restarts, details are what win races these days.
Yeah, you know what? And I think, you know, if you have a bad pit stop like that, you can almost sometimes make it up, because the choose rule now, you might be able to make a chance and you know, taking a lane that maybe is not preferred. You know, AJ picked the top, and he's going to be starting 6th. And we're just learning that I believe the 98 had a penalty for removing equipment, so we'll have to track his progress back to the field.
Almost halfway through her here. Going back to the old green flag. You see that bottom lane gets a launch, huh? Just gets out there. You see 3 wide. Noah Gragson, Austin Cindric, Harrison Burton.
There is nothing better than hearing those cars come by in a pack, accelerating through the gears. Every
cool.
time on the restarts, it just sounds so cool.
All these years, it is still really just awesome.
I'm just going to let that go, Joey. I was like, all these years?
All these years. I was saying that for me too at this point. But
all right.
I mean, obviously longer for you, but
I'll tell you who I think got their car better. I think Chase Briscoe.
Oh, we got one spinner right at the drone. Woo! That's the 6 car.
5 car of Matt Mills. Let's see what happened.
We see a lot of tire marks on that left side door.
Someone got sucked around on the bottom.
I'm gonna guess.
Most likely.
Got some heavy damage to the front end of that race car. You see that splitter all tucked up underneath there. Let's see what happened here. Here he is at the bottom there, underneath the 0 car. Off of turn 2.
15 got loose.
Oh man.
They ran out of real estate. And you know, I don't think he expected to be 3 wide off that corner. Pinched it a little bit. And
yeah, it's just like when he pulled down on that wheel just a little bit. Just went around on him.
The drone shot of that one, it really got you. That thing was coming right at the car. Watch this, guys. Woo! Pull up!
Good thing they had 2 controllers on that one.
That's right.
Oh, they could handle to not get hit.
There it is.
I don't even know where to start. Well,
I don't know.
I mean, there is it's a one way to ride a jet ski. I guess if you're going to be pit road reporters, you guys got to be together on the same team.
It's cute.
You guys look great.
Well, at least I'm driving. Like I heard you guys up there talking. I'm driving, and it must be nice up in the air conditioning. The sun's out down here. Donuts up for you guys. I got Slim Jim, some Smarties Jamie hooked me up with. So, I'm eating well too down here, guys. Don't worry about me.
I'm jealous of Brad and Ricky over there getting ice cream. So it's definitely a little bit warm down here, but could be a lot worse.
We're just preparing you for tomorrow.
Yeah. These guys are really paying attention too.
Guys, what's going on?
Hey.
Don't take your glasses off now.
Here.
Yeah,
Chad's just trying to get some more followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
We're
Chad Canales on the Twitter, folks.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He wants to
me.
get 25,000. That's a big goal.
It's a big goal.
Big goal. We were looking at pit stalls for tomorrow. I'm in pit stall 30.
Strategizing.
Yep.
Chad was about to give us some info. Then he realized that we were racing against him. So he didn't want to give us that.
He said, watch this restart. Here's what Noah needs to do. This is what you got to do. And he goes, oh, never mind.
I forgot I'm racing against you guys.
I was so ready. Gosh. Well, it was part of our fun. But, Kevin, get back to this. I don't know what we're doing down here, but we're having
Baseball.
fun.
Stick and ball sports.
Baseball,
Tell us
Brad.
about 'em.
Tonight on Fox. It's an NL East showdown on Baseball Night in America as the Braves battle the Mets, or the Giants face the Dodgers, or the Brewers Nationals. Tonight, 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check local listings for the game in your area.
Well, baseball. We're getting ready to go to green. Let's see the drone shot one more time because I think this one's super cool. Not so great for Matt Mills. For all of us watching, watch this. Here he comes off of turn 2. Sideways.
Right at you.
Woo! You're not getting that shot anywhere but at Fox right now. That is awesome. Look at that thing. Like a big bug.
I wonder what it costs to crash that thing. What's the drone cost? Does anybody know? Stats department?
You got insurance on that thing?
Like crashing one of our cars.
We stumped them. Usually you can ask them anything over here.
Now, if the car hit the drone, whose fault is it at that point, I mean,
it'd be bad.
Gotta call the insurance company.
Yeah.
As we come back to green.
Save us.
Yes, please, guys. Get started.
And Cindric able to hold the top there pretty good. There for a little bit. Still pushed the bottom really well on these restarts. Hard to restart up there.
Hemrick's done a great job getting a good launch. He hasn't had a run side by side with anybody. He's been clear by the time they get to 1, and that's perfect. You just put yourself out in clean air and be able to set your own pace.
You see Chase Briscoe go to the bottom there, trying to make that pass and clear Cindric on the bottom. What a big power move right there for Chase Briscoe.
And it seems like Briscoe's car fires off really well as he takes off on these restarts.
If your car fires off good, you better get it while you can because it might not be there forever. And we've seen in this race so far, once it kind of spreads out, it gets harder and harder to pass. Here comes Cindric back on the top side.
That was a nice little
each other
fake
hard. I saw that.
Yeah, that was nice.
Definitely a lot of sliding around trying to keep that track position. Here goes Reddick again. He's been entertaining today.
He's back up to the top 10.
He's the only one that's had more airtime than the drone. When you can see the front tires move on these race cars from the corrections and saves, there's some pretty big moments. And Tyler's front wheels move around like that about every other lap.
Yeah,
he's definitely got his hands full.
Yes, for sure. And he's outside of that traction compound on the bottom, but he has clean air down there. That's the difference maker for him as he's able to clear the 10 of Jeb Burton back up off of turn 4 down the front straightaway. It's all about the air. Sometimes you want the traction compound for that mechanical grip. Other times you just need the air to make it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, he's the only car really on the bottom. I mean, everyone in front of him is in the second lane. As we see Haley try to get by Mike Lynette for 11th. Hard to make it work on the bottom there.
Yeah, and it seems like that middle groove has, once we run 1 or 2 laps, it just seems like that middle groove is now the dominant groove, Joey.
Yeah, it definitely does. Before it was hard to pass because everyone was on the bottom. Now it's challenging the pass, but definitely better, I think, as they're up there in that second groove. And it's something all of us are watching, right? All the Cup guys are watching this right now saying, okay, where's this traction compound at? What's it going to be like tomorrow? Is it going to start to wear? Are they going to respray it tonight? And is it going to move up higher? All those questions is something we're all going to want the answers to. We won't really know until we start the Coca-Cola 600 tomorrow.
Saw the graphic of Daniel Hemrick for the first time ever winning the first 2 stages, and I go back to the report of the guys on pit road and just how everybody's cheering for Daniel Hemrick to finally get that first win. And he's just one of those guys that everybody enjoys being around and loves just a good guy.
Chase Briscoe, you said it, Kevin. It looks like he has a really good short run car, and he's showing it right now.
Get another one done. Sliding back up in that traction compound, giving that dirty air back to the trailing car of Harrison Burton. And he's got his eyes set on Daniel Hemrick.
Christopher, what do you have?
Yeah, adding on that for Daniel Hemrick, Dave Rogers, his crew chief, has been talking to Daniel and said the first win is always the toughest to get. And they're 100% focused on getting Daniel that first win in the top 3 NASCAR series. So that's more important than the championship for them right now.
After 8 second-place finishes, I bet Daniel Hemrick agrees the first one is the hardest one to get. And he definitely has a fast car. He's been dominating today, leading a ton of laps in this race. But don't look too far back because Chase Briscoe is booking right now, catching him. Let's hear the 31's radio.
135 is the short pit window. So let me know if you see anybody. It looks like they're coming down between 135 to 140. Copy that.
Well, now we're going to need a crew chief. That's the disadvantage to the drivers only, but we do have Chad.
Does that count?
Chad, start talking to us. What do we need to know about short pitting, long pitting, staying out?
Yeah. Keep on trucking up there. Keep filling out that groove. Try to run up towards the top a little bit to get the speed. We're going to come in here probably about lap 135. I'm probably going to push it a little bit later in case we get a green, white checker finish down to about lap 136. But you can go as far as probably about 156 before we have to hit pit road.
Yeah, and you hear them, and I guess in the situation of the 31 car, if they feel like they're not good on the long run and they feel like they can come in short pit and drag some people with them, I guess for them they don't have anything to lose, right? They're trying to win. So there's a lot of varying strategies here of what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and when you talk about short pitting, there's risk involved with that. Yes, you're going to short pit. You'll be the first car out there on new tires. You'll be 1.5 to 2 seconds faster than the cars around you. The risk is if the caution comes out, you've pitted and lost 1.5 laps or so, you'll be down 1.5 laps. So you have to kind of weigh all that out and say what's worth it, and then you got to also know you're going to be a little slower late in the run. Yep. So you kind of do that and hope for a caution maybe late.
Well, we're seeing the lead heat up here. We see Chase Briscoe has definitely found something that works for his car. They've obviously made that 99 car a lot better as the day has gone on.
Yeah, really, this is, as we listen to Hemrick's audio.
Come to you, but I just took a few tenths out of the front tires here. I mean, just hitting some kind of debris with the left front down the white line, 3 and 4.
I mean, this is really the first time I've ever seen anybody challenge that 18 car for the lead. So seems like they took maybe a little bit of air out of the fronts, and it might take a little bit longer to come in, but he's getting a lot of pressure right now.
I mean, Chase Briscoe's car, that 99 Productions Alliance car, I mean, that thing is on rails. Yep. You're not stopping him. He caught him that quick, packed some air on him, loosed him up. See ya.
And it's so typical Charlotte, right? Mm-hmm. Going good, going good, going good.
What happened?
And all of a sudden, what happened? And you just never know when it's coming. It's the most track-sensitive, weather-sensitive track that we go to, in my opinion.
Right.
I was put on this earth to have fun.
Welcome to my office. I'm glad y'all could be here.
Whoa, he hit him.
Oh, he just smashed into the back bumper.
Whatever, bro. I'm sweating and I'm hot and I'm tired. You spin me and end my day. I'd probably want to fight you too.
They pissed a lot of people off.
I'm gonna bust his ass.
I'll put this out of the racetrack. Drive your you little.
I'm the bad guy. I won again.
There's only one way to put it. They were badass guys.
Fox Sports Films presents a dynamic look at the history of the renegade drivers in NASCAR and the outlaw spirit ingrained in the sport.
Bad boys.
And we've had some action while we were in commercial.
Jeb Burton, it's kind of the back end of it. Might have got a little bit too high, maybe in 3 and 4. And got in some of that, some dirtier PJ1.
Got a little damage there on the right rear. Not a pretty sensitive area. Here's a replay. We can maybe see a little bit more. Getting high.
Come back down there. Coming down. You're good. No yellow yet.
And that's just kind of where we're at, right? The track's loosening up. The cars are sliding all over the place. You want to start creeping that PJ1 up, and
yep,
just lost it.
Here they come, Christopher.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Christopher.
Yeah, guys, the 18 said he's just losing grip in turn 3. Still just too choppy. Can't get that right front to go through the bumps. 99, on the other hand, all quiet on the radio. Eric?
Well, the 16 AJ Allmendinger really isn't too happy now with his race car. Says it's too tight, went too far on these changes, and isn't too happy with them. The 22, Austin Cindric, said he's just not liking the air pressure adjustment. Feels like they've gained a little bit too much stagger and getting a little bit too free at the 2/3 mark of the corner, and needs a little bit more stability there.
We saw Hemrick, he got boxed in. He had to back up and drive around the car in front of him, but just in a tough spot there.
Lots of spots.
There's lots of spots, yeah.
8 spots lost for the 18. Let's see what happened here, guys.
Yeah, here comes the 13 around him. And
didn't pull in too deep. These are small stalls. Look how small the boxes are right here. It just loses time there, going reverse and trying to go forward.
Yeah, and the 13 didn't really do anything wrong. He had to go around the car, and it's just unfortunate timing for Daniel on his pit stop.
It's a home game. NASCAR's backyard play and host.
This is the NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers only broadcast.
It's going to be some haymakers being thrown here.
Oh, no. I'm not sure anybody is going to be able to get to Brad Keselowski. Ryan Blaney does it at Charlotte.
Victory Lane is so much more fun here in Charlotte.
And Charlotte is always such a great place to come and race because of the guys in the shop and all the things that you get to do. But this is pretty cool.
Yeah. Dad and Mom there. Dad went up and ran with the Outlaws up at Sharon Speedway, track he owns in Ohio, and was able to win. Last lap pass on Sheldon Haudenschild. It was really exciting. Dad doesn't run much sprint car anymore nowadays, but it was so cool for him. It was great to have Fun to Fellow on that. We're working with UPMC this year up in Pittsburgh for what they do, and appreciate that being on the car. But Daniel Hemrick had an unfortunate penalty the last stop.
Yeah, and here's where the issue is. See that tire back there in the number 6 car's pit stall? That is Daniel Hemrick's tire, and that impeded the pit stop of the other car, and that is a penalty. And so he has his work cut out now. As we're back green.
Oh, boy. Harrison had some trouble there.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Noah Gragson. Never scared to go 3 wide. Let's see if it works out here for him. He's still up there. He's going to carry some momentum off of turn 2 here and head down this backstretch with a lot of momentum. Try to clear all of them. He does. What a great restart. Going to gain a lot of spots.
Harrison trying to become only the second father and son to win here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I don't know. Who's the other one?
I think it was me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, me and Dad won.
That's pretty
here.
cool.
We were racing you with for that one a few years ago.
Yeah.
That was a fun race. And, yeah, speaking of, I mean, Ty Gibbs has come from having that penalty a run ago, and he's running 5th, battling for 5th right now. So he's made a really good recovery.
Trying to make that bottom work. You guys talking about father-son racing. Keelan's been racing a lot right there, Kevin. Is that going to happen soon for you? What is going on here? Sorry, Allmendinger has some issues. We'll get back to that. Big issues, really slow for AJ Allmendinger down the front straightaway here. Something's definitely broken. A tough break for him.
Yeah, as much as he had complained about his car all day, they had run really well.
Yeah.
Had good track position, and something obviously broke, or is the right rear tire flat?
He was up to 2nd, I think.
Brake issues. Pedal going.
Brake issues.
Brake issues, no brakes.
And this is, I mean, in my opinion, this is one of the few mile-and-a-half racetracks where you would actually have to use some brake in these cars getting into turn 3. And
let's listen to the 16 here and see what he said about it.
Right front tire is coming off. Sorry. I can't tell. No, sorry. Brake rotor exploded.
Oh, wow. I think brake rotor exploded.
Well, that's not something that you hear every day. I can tell you if the brake rotor did explode, it's still out there.
Yeah, and you don't want to hit a brake rotor. That is for sure. That is going to do some serious damage to a race car.
Really hard to tell.
Good job by everybody for missing him right there. That's a bad spot to be really slow, and they did a good job.
Well, we saw a similar thing yesterday in the truck race. A slow car coming off of turn 4, and it ended really bad for Johnny Sauter without being able to see him. So everyone was able to avoid him today, which is great.
Well, this is the first one of this broadcast here, but it's always one of my favorite parts of the Fox broadcast. So let's do an Applebee's Crank It Up.
I like Applebee's.
8. Nice job. Half, 3/4. Everything's out front, pulling away from Outback.
Still rolling bottom here. Bumper. Still bumper. We're about 1 front. We're about 2 now. Same thing here. Coming back bottom, half. Inside quarter. Clear. Self here. All clear. That's T10. T10. Smooth it. Hang in there.
Well,
that's the first time I've ever heard clear by 8th.
I was just going to say, if we're going to break it down into fractions, I think I'm going to go ahead and push up the retirement date. I can go with halves and quarters, but 8's too far.
I don't know how you can see it. They're by an 8th.
How about Daniel Hemrick back up to 10th after having that penalty just a few laps ago when this race restarted? He has come through the field very, very fast. Now it gets harder to pass cars as you keep going up towards the front. The cars get faster and faster and harder to pass, but here he is making a pass on the 31, Tyler Reddick. Eric, you got something on the 16. You got some info?
Yeah, the 16 AJ Allmendier's taken it to the garage here. They completely had lost brakes, but they came in and the left rear wheel was so loose on it, the changer barely even had to take any lug nuts off. Not sure if that's part of the issue, maybe knocking a brake line off or something along those lines, but in the garage for now.
Man, that's odd. That's, you know, a loose wheel in these cars, it doesn't take much for it to give a sensation that is just really, really uncomfortable. So if the wheel was that loose, it must have been violent.
Yeah. Right. And a left rear, I feel like, is probably the most violent you can have.
Yeah. Either way, loose wheels are bad.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Xfinity Series, live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Chase Briscoe leading. We're here in the studio because the booth is on another donut break. And Chad Canals, Ricky Stenhouse here with me. Chase Briscoe just driving away for now. But Daniel Hemrick had won the first 2 stages, had the pit road penalty, guys, fell all the way back into the 20s and has driven his way back up in the top 10. Chad Canals, 58 laps left to go, at least one more pit stop left. Yep. What do you think we're going to see?
We can pit right now. If you want to be aggressive, you can hit pit road right now. But I'm really curious, my boy Ricky here, I want to know, how treacherous is it to get to pit road here under green? Because we can push this thing all the way down to the 180 lap mark before we have to hit pit road. Is that a wise call?
I tell you what, for me, I've always, being in the Xfinity series, back when I raced in that series for a long time, got a lot of drivers that don't do green flag pit stops that often. And, does that caution come out? So do you stay out? If you're the 99, I feel like, man, your car is so good, they're not catching you. But, those cars like Daniel Hemrick, who could use a little bit of benefit to catch those leaders having to restart at the back, could come down a little bit earlier than the others.
Green flag pit stops, definitely a different animal. We're going to see him here in just a few minutes, guys. Back to you in the booth.
Well, thank you, guys. Donut break was much appreciated.
Yes. Yeah. Number 2.
Christopher, what do you have down there?
Yeah, guys, I've been watching the 9's lap times here, and he's really fallen off. He got on the radio a couple laps ago and said he might be having a tire issue, so told his guys to be ready.
Yeah, I'd say something in the back. It looks pretty free as it gets down into turn 1 underneath 98. Caution's out, though, for debris, wherever that is. So that might be the saving grace for the old 9 car.
Oh, we have, I think we found a part of the debris that hasn't come off yet.
It's getting ready to be more debris, it looks like.
Now, you have to have that rear bumper attached to your car. When that thing falls off, boy, that is a ton of free downforce. It's a good thing. So NASCAR has made a rule to where your rear bumper cover must be attached. Looks like he must have had some damage with the right rear. Eric, you got AJ?
Yeah, I'm down here with AJ Allmendinger. AJ, tough end of your day. Looked like your car was pretty close to where you needed it to be there right before you had your issue. Did you have any indication before the brake problem?
Yeah, it wasn't really a brake issue. We had a great restart there, but the left rear was about to fall off, and so was the right front. So 2 of the 4 tires weren't very tight, and I think what happened was it shot a lug nut in between the brake rotor and the disc there, and that's the brake failure I was feeling, and it bent it, so that's why I had the steering a little bit crooked there as well. So disappointing. We got a great restart there, and the Hyper-X Chevy was quick. Jason and the guys did a great job. We kept making it a little bit better, and felt like if I got the track position back like I had in the restart, we might have had something for them, but we'll never know. Go to Mid-Ohio and kick their ass.
10-4. Thanks, AJ.
Well, here we go. This is money time. Christopher, what do you have?
It's a 20, just hit his pit box here, just complaining about being too tight, needs a little bit more front turn. Eric?
Austin Cindry's coming in his pit box here. Says it's the best he's been all day. He's a little bit limited on entry 1 and 2. They're going to go ahead and looks like maybe just an air pressure adjustment. 54, Ty Gibbs has been really strong here, moving back up through the field. Looks like maybe no adjustments for them. We're just going to keep chugging forward.
Way to go, Eric Jones, calling it from the garage on the monitor.
We had a little contact there at the end.
Definitely tight off of pit road.
Oh, I don't even know where to go from there. There was a lot happening right there. Eric did a great job. We had a near disaster at the end of pit road. And now we're going to have 54 laps to go to the end of the race. Should be fun. I'm not reading this. I'm not into promos, so there's no reason that I should read this.
I'll do it. Coca-Cola 600 tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the best NASCAR season ever continues as the Cup Series is here in Charlotte, North Carolina for the Coca-Cola 600. Coverage begins with race day on FS1 at 4:30 Eastern, then continues at 5:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Yeah. I don't know what you got to do to get on that promo, Kevin. I mean, we do enough for Fox. What if those guys?
I think we should just line them up by qualifying order.
Exactly. What are y'all looking at? Also,
I don't know.
Gazing off in the distance.
Yeah.
How about this?
Justin Haley was.
He lost his water.
He must.
That was probably a brand new water, all cold, and he just lost.
I bet
all
it
of
still was refreshing on his legs and stuff, but not probably where he was aiming for that water to go.
Might should have left the cap on there and figured
This
that
lady
out
hasn't
later.
Figured out though.
Look
She's
at
got like a
that.
little double fan thing. Oh, look at
look
the
at her
one
friend.
next
It
to
goes
her.
around her neck.
Her friend really has it going on.
Hands free. Chris
Nice.
Bell, you got one of them fans down there?
I do not have one of the fans, but I do have a little piece of audio here on the 18 car, so take a listen.
He's got a set left. There, looks good. Sometimes if you want something in life, buddy, you just gotta go take it. You're gonna have to take this one today. Take it back.
Yes, sir.
Got a little Dave Rogers motivation right there. Go take it back. You know, he's done a great job coming back up from, his pit penalty going all the way to the tail end of the field up to 7th. You got 50 laps to go. You got one set of tires left.
So
hammer down.
Ryan Sieg and Brandon Brown sitting 1st and 6th right now. They did not take tires. They just came in for gas.
But
so we'll see how they fire back off.
4 of the last 5 years, the winner has rebounded from a pit penalty.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I've been studying the stats.
I could tell.
As the stat man cleans his whiteboard off.
Yeah. But it would be a really cool way for Daniel Hemrick to come back and get his first win by making a comeback.
For sure.
Let's listen to the 54 on the restart here. Ty Gibbs.
Nah, let's eat some. I don't even know what those are. Are those chips?
It's a bunch
donuts.
of chips.
Okay.
Ready. Half back in line with you. Inside is covered. Line now. Inside is still covered. Half back to the 22. Come with a small run. Still in line. Still in line. Inside only. Inside only. Half back to 22. Down by 1 to 22.
Sieg loose.
Stay high here. Stay high.
Save it. Save it. Oh, no. Oh. Big hit for Ryan Sieg.
Brett Moffitt, Josh Berry involved.
And that's just bad situation. Ryan was in a situation to where they stayed out, trying to get all they can get, trying to see if track position would make it better. We got the window net down on Josh Berry. That's always the sign that the driver gives to say that he's okay. Man, that 39 is tore up.
That thing got hit a ton in the right rear. It looked like he almost had it saved. He had the slide for life going, and that thing hooked. It went straight back in front of the field. One of those situations. It's hard. You want to save the car. You want to try to straighten it out. Hindsight's always 20/20, but locking it down sometimes and just not hitting something. It's easy to say it afterwards. I was sitting here in the booth right now, but tough break for them. As you're like you said, Kevin, you're on old tires. You're trying to maintain what you got, trying to save a set for late in the race. It's just a tough spot, hard to do.
And he had a car on his outside. He was in a tough spot. With being on old tires, having the 99 to his outside, and having a car right at his bumper. So he was in a bad spot there, and I thought he was going to save it, and it looked like he caught a little bit too much apron, and it shot him back to the right.
Let's see it one more time here. You see the 99's on his door. Nothing wrong there. He's trying to save it. Oh, it just hooks back.
And Josh Berry, that's a big hit.
Big
head
hit.
on.
Yeah, good to see him get out.
So it was right in the door of Ryan Sieg. It's a good thing it was the right side door. I feel like that was probably better than being on the left side.
Yeah, and right here, it looks like he's going to save the car. As soon as that thing gains grip, wherever those front wheels are pointed, that's where the car is headed.
Look at the left rear tire off the
ground. Yeah. There it goes. And Josh Berry, not a chance of missing that. You know, this is all happening so quick, guys. I mean, it's super slow motion, right? When you put this at real time, it happens so quick that you can't react quick enough. You know, you're trying to guess where the 39 is going to go, and then when he comes up, there's Josh Berry. Just nowhere to go. Boom.
And Brett Moffitt. Shame for Brett Moffitt getting caught up in that too. Trying to put
and really lucky
together.
that there's not way more cars involved in that, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It could have swallowed up a whole bunch more cars right here. Oof.
Yeah.
Here we're watching real time.
Oh man, that thing it's gone. It's gone in the center of the corner.
It's the worst getting in crashes like that too. You just wish you can take that moment back. So I don't know about you. It's like, man, can I just reverse time for 30 seconds here and have another shot at it? It's just things happen so quick in these race cars.
And no one ever thinks that car is going to hook back to the right. You know, he was sideways for so long, real low. Everyone thinks he's just going to spin to the bottom. I mean, Ryan Sieg thought he was just going to spin to the bottom, or maybe just hopefully at least straighten it out. No one knew it was going to hook and get back to the right. And I think everyone was a pretty decent full song there, trying to get around it, and just wrong place, wrong time for a couple teams.
Yeah, what a great job by the second half of this field. You see Tommy Joe Martins. And a whole bunch of other guys come through here. Ty Dillon in the 23 car. They all just shoot to the bottom. Could have been way more.
For sure.
Big wreck for Ryan Sieg.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Here's a recap of the action so far. Early on in the race, Grant Enfinger brings out our first caution of the day with an accident. First career start, not the way he wanted to see that go.
Not clear.
Not clear, but he was okay.
Spotter there.
Daniel Hemrick wins both stages 1 and 2. He was on a roll to start this race, trying to get that first win. A little bit later on, Ty Gibbs with this big spin, Ricky.
Man, just ran out of real estate. All fighting for the same spot, but he's back going now. Got a shot at the win.
Thank goodness for that turf. That car was all right. Still on the racetrack, competing for the win. Jeb Burton a little bit later on. This is in car from Justin Haley, just squeaking through. Duck, duck.
Made it.
Yes, he did, just barely. Jeb Burton was able to continue on. Later on, AJ Allmendinger. This was your pick, Chad. What happened?
My pick from the top, excuse me, the top of the show, unfortunately had some issues on pit road, a couple loose slug nuts, and then, Riley Herbst. And you were driving that car for him, Brad. You were telling him, turn left.
Yeah,
turn left.
Here. This is a big hit. This is our latest caution right here. And you can see a huge contact from Josh Berry. Both of these guys, their day is done. And we are under caution as they try to clean up the racetrack from this big accident with about 44 laps to go. So last stage of the race here, kind of winding down. We were all green flag, and now we've got cautions galore. Ricky, what do you expect is going to happen next?
Restarts, old tires, man, don't spin them, get a good restart. That outside lane is going to be tricky, but you see Hemrick's fought his way back in. He's hungry, he's ready to go. He's led the most laps, and he wants it, but he's got some really, really good cars to pass.
Yeah, Chase Briscoe in the lead, passed Daniel Hemrick for the lead, and was kind of driving away. But, he doesn't want to see these restarts, Chad. Every one of them an opportunity for either Ty Gibbs to steal this win from him. He's rebounded really nicely. And Harrison Burton in third. What do you think it's going to take for them to beat?
I think it's going to be definitely opportunity. It's on these restarts. I think we all have understood it's not necessarily how good your restart is, but how good is the restart of the guy behind you? Can he get to you? Can he give you a shove? Can he get you out towards the front? It's going to be pretty exciting to see what happens in the next little bit.
Absolutely. Well, one guy who's not very excited about his day is Josh Berry, and with him is Christopher Bell at the Care Center.
Yeah, Josh, you've been outstanding in this Junior Motorsports number 8 car throughout the course of the year. I know today probably wasn't what you were hoping for, but man, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know, we just struggled today, really. We were kind of mired back in 12th to 15th, could never break out of that little bubble there, and just got stuck racing all day. And that wreck, I don't know, the 39, I thought he was going to spin down, and he didn't. Took us all with him.
Yeah, well, glad you're okay, and we'll send it back up to you, Brad.
Oh, that was a huge hit. You see that track crew still working to clean it up. Josh Berry able to get out okay. We're glad to see that for sure. I'm sure that shook him up a little bit. Those big hits, I mean, you just can't appreciate, Ricky, how hard they are until you see them and really even you live them. What do you think he was going through right there?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and you're guessing. You were in here saying, turn the wheel to the left, turn the wheel to the left. And, it's hard for Josh Berry to see that. And, man, just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, but everybody in the booth back in the action here. We got Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano back. Donuts are done. Ready to finish off this race,
yes,
guys?
They are. Yeah, donuts are done, and now it's going to come down to a restart. And I think as I look at the first two cars, I see Chase Briscoe, who is taking control of this race. And I think back to that restart where Ty Gibbs was on the outside of the front row, spun the tires, had Austin Cindric all over the back of him. I think he picks the front row again, and I think he learned from that.
Yeah, I think you choose it again, and that's what Ty Gibbs has done so good. For the first few races of his career, he's been able to recover from things happening. Right, you're a rookie. Things are going to happen. He's just been spinning through the grass. He's back on the front row now. That's incredible to see that. I think you have two of the fastest cars on the front row right now. I think the cream is finally rising to the top in this race, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you talk about the recovery from Ty Gibbs, and he has a shot to redeem himself, and he did just take the top. So hopefully he learned something, like you said, and will be able to stay side by side with Briscoe into one and maybe clear him down the back.
Well, I think cautions breed cautions, and I think as you look at this restart, it could come down to another restart and another restart. And I think as you look at that, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this inside lane takes off and how the outside lane can keep up. But let's take a look at the Xfinity fastest lap, and once again you see Ty Gibbs at the top of the chart there.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely has a fast race car. Riley Herbst, who started up front early in the race, probably laying down a good lap there early. And you got a couple more Fords there with Briscoe and Cindric with some fast laps. All that matters for qualifying next week.
Yeah.
Christopher?
Yeah, Ryan, we saw you get loose there on the restart. Had you been fighting loose all race, or was it just the older tires?
We were on edge all day. It's just nature of the track. You got to run it on edge, and then we tried to do a different strategy, and you know what I mean, get ourselves in position for later. Just snapped around without, you know what I mean, without any indication of loose. But we'll that's it. The CMR Fords, we're trying to just get a win. That's all we really are focusing on, and that's probably the way we're going to get into the points, but we'll just have to do it another day.
Yeah, glad you're okay. We'll send it back up top.
Well, guys, I would say that he definitely learned from that last restart,
Yes,
because here we go. Great job by Ty Gibbs to get track position on the leader in the speedy dry down the back straightaway.
Well, you saw Chase Briscoe do a good job side drafting and pulling Ty Gibbs back.
That side draft is everything, isn't
huge.
it, Ryan?
Put him just in the right spot with forward momentum going into 3 that he was able to get down there and hook the bottom and clear him.
But I mean, you got to go for it, right? He chose the outside. He took the risk, tried to get to the front, and he was so close to clearing Chase Briscoe for the lead. And like you said, he side drafted him back, pull him back. Chase Briscoe regains control of the race. 40 laps to go. I believe there's still one set laying in the pits too, so there's still opportunity for things to happen there.
I'm still amazed at the adjustments that they made to the Briscoe car, because those first 2 runs, like, I didn't think he was going to get out here and dominate the rest of this race after he took the lead from Daniel Hemrick, but they have made that car way better.
We saw Hemrick try to clear Gragson, and it's been harder to clear on the bottom of 1 and 2 than it has been in 3 and 4. I feel like the bottom of 3 and 4 is a lot better to be able to drive alongside him. That's what Daniel did. He drove to the left rear of the 9 car off of 4 the lap before and just couldn't clear him. It doesn't seem like the bottom has as much grip in 1 and 2, or the second lane just has way more grip in 1 and 2 than the middle of 3 and 4.
And we've seen those two battle it out before, so they race aggressively together for sure. And there's Brendan Jones right behind Hemrick, his teammate, pushing him along as well. Everybody wants to go. It's go time.
Yeah, and clearing the cars on the bottom when that PJ1 has become the dominant lane, and from an aero standpoint, just puts you in a bad spot. And you pull the car to the bottom, and it's already slipping and sliding, and you're making adjustments all the way up off the corner, walking the car up off the corner and underneath,
like
as
that?
you see it again. Yeah,
yeah.
Just
Look
like
at the
that.
run too. Once you lose that momentum, when you go back to the other shot, you see the momentum that the 19 was able to carry. And it's almost like a free pass, right? Like the guy in front of you tries to make a pass, he doesn't, pull it off completely. He loses momentum. If you're the next guy in line, you're getting a free spot, and that's kind of what happened there for Brendan Jones. Eric, you got something down there, huh?
Yeah, the 54 Ty Gibbs. What a rebound today. All the way back up to second and chasing down the leader right now. He says his car's just a little bit tight. Just needs a little bit more out of those front tires to get up there and try to challenge for the lead. But what a day. I think sometimes when you get yourself mad and frustrated at your own mistake, someday your day turns out a little bit better.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like a pissed off race car driver, man. That's what makes you go.
And I've been so impressed with Ty and everything that he's been able to do. There's not a higher pressure situation that you can put him in to see how it's going to go. And whether it's winning his first race at Daytona with a crazy pass in the grass and just being competitive, to every situation that he's been in. He just continues to answer the bell and be competitive and race for a win. Here we see Riley Herbst and Ty Dillon side by side.
You brought up a good point there, Kevin. There is a lot of pressure for these young drivers. When you jump in a Gibbs car, a Stewart-Haas car, a Penske car, a junior car, you're supposed to win. If you want to move up and you're in a car that is really, really good, like one of those, you have to win. You have to go up there at lead laps, and you have to win the race if you want to progress your career into the Cup level. And to see, a lot of these youngsters out here that are, fresh to it, being able to be successful right off the bat, that's what it takes. Because a lot of times you only got one shot at this thing. Yep. If you don't make it happen in the first few races, and really, spark some interest, it's hard to break into this series, right? These guys can race for a long, long time. The shelf life of a race car driver is a long time, and you keep getting better. Ain't that right, Kevin? You keep getting better. It's like a fine wine.
I mean, that's how I would explain it at this point. But you also, that youth and enthusiasm is also something that makes it exciting for everybody to watch him learn. And, you know, I think when you get to witness that it's and see this success, it makes it fun. Let's hear what Austin Cindric has to say.
19's a little higher at the 1/3, 1 and 2. Can't say it's a big difference for speed.
Copy. I can't even see the difference between TJ1 and racetrack. I'm blind, dude.
Well, how do you interpret that, Joey?
I don't know. I mean, maybe the way the sun's glaring off the racetrack. I mean, from up here, it's easy for us to see the difference. But we have obviously a lot different angle. Sometimes when you're in the car, your windshield could be pitted up. The sun's glaring down onto the windshield. It could make, you know, being able to see, you know, the darker part of the racetrack where the traction compound is to hit that makes it a little bit more challenging, possibly.
Daniel Hemrick trying to get a spot back he lost. Did a pretty good job. Kind of slide job in the 19 there into 1 and was able to clear him.
Yeah, that momentum off the top there. No competition. Off he goes.
The 18 looks like he's really fast. He's just kind of stuck. You know, he's just stuck. He needs another restart probably and reset. Maybe have a good pit stop, good restart. Let's see where he can get to.
And there goes our guy, Tyler Reddick.
There he is on the bottom.
Christopher.
Yeah, so I've been walking down pit road back and forth, and these guys keep showing me the sign. Eric, did you pay them?
Well,
I guess those are Eric's guys.
That must be Eric's pit crew.
Eric's guys.
Oh, they're biased.
And they want. Well, you know what? They still got Christopher. That's good.
Hey, Christopher, just tell them if they want Eric that you're just going to turn your mic off and not talk about him anymore.
I don't know if they're letting me talk on the air or not, but hey, I'm available anytime. They just got to ask me to come drive it.
There you go.
They got your back, that's for sure.
Those guys are doing a good job down there today. That's not easy.
No.
Is it, Blaney?
No, it is not easy. They're doing a good job.
And it's hot.
Congrats, Eric, Chris. Yeah, been there. Now look at me.
Well, the battle for the lead is heating up, guys.
Yes, for sure.
Yes,
Ty
it is.
Gibbs is reeled in Chase Briscoe as they work through the traffic. And that's what it might take. It might just take one, guessing where the lap car is going to go and go in a different direction might be what Ty Gibbs needs to do to get around Chase Briscoe. It's not going to be an easy pass. 23 laps to go. I can guarantee you one thing, he ain't going to give it to him. This is going to be a fun race to watch.
And one thing I've kind of noticed is Ty Gibbs can kind of, especially in 3 and 4, dip his left sides out of the PJ1 to kind of get air on his nose. That's something I've been noticing. And obviously, he stayed a little bit higher and had a good run there, but that's what it's all about, trying to find a little bit of air, a little bit of grip, whether that's a little lower or higher. And he's doing a pretty good job at trying to search around.
And it doesn't look like much, but being able to keep the left front nose out of the wake of the car in front of you just a little bit, it matters. And it looks to me like Chase is struggling a little bit trying to roll his car through the center of the corner. And traffic could definitely come into play, like you guys are saying, as to where they catch them.
There's a lot of them up there, and you catch one in the wrong spot, it's all it's going to take. And this is where Chase Briscoe, you got to be in the mirror too, right? You got to be seeing what he's doing. You got to be able to try to move and take that air. Because right now, Ty is putting that air off the rear spoiler of that car. It's going to make him quite a bit looser, take a lot of downforce off of him. So that's probably going to be the way he's going to try to pass him, is just pack air on that rear spoiler.
Yeah, and a dominant lane is that middle lane in the PJ1, and
wow,
unfortunately for Chase,
I mean,
all the cars in front of him are in that groove.
He's going to have his hands full trying to hold them off. The amount of speed, the entry speed that he just carried into turn 1, it was incredible, right? He's able to drive into the corner so hard. Look at there, he's packing the air. You see him get loose. He's going to get underneath him here. Got a lap car to deal with, though.
Man, the 54 is just turning so much better than the 99. I feel like he's gotten pretty tight. It's going to get tight right here.
Oh, boy. Now, pulling this off on the bottom is going to be tough.
Yeah, and Chase is...
Oh, no! Save it!
What?
Oh, no!
Save it!
Oh, man. Oh. He's going to keep it off the wall here.
Well, they did a good job keeping it off the wall.
And that was all air.
Yeah, all air. I don't think he ever touched him.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, definitely really close. And, now if you're Chase Briscoe, I think you're out of tires too. So I don't really know how that.
Yeah, everybody's out of tires. The only guy sitting with tires is Brandon Brown in the 68 car in 21st position. So
good for him. Bad for Chase. Let's see what happened here. It's hard to finish the pass on the bottom. Here comes Ty up the hill and just packing air in the left rear quarter. That's what it is. It turns that thing around so much. Kevin, you know how it is too. If someone starts packing air there, you start asking your spotter, did I get hit?
Yeah.
It feels like someone actually hit you, the amount of air that's forced onto that left rear.
Yeah, and he definitely did not hit him. And, I think as you saw him try to make those passes a couple laps before that, he was trying to do the same thing. He'd drive it in there and he'd try to pack that air on there. And you can tell that Chase was struggling with his car. And, I think just the amount of air and how close he got to the left rear quarter panel right there just got that car out from underneath Chase.
Such a light spot of the racetrack. What I mean is the banking is going away. The compression into the car is starting to go away. The car gets light as it is, and then you get pushed around a little bit. It just happens. I guess that looks like racing to me, I guess.
And the 54 was coming up the track kind of quick. Like it looks like they got on the exit of the corner, and he just got really close. So, hey, Christopher, what do you got on the 99?
Yeah, guys, the 99 just was too tight. That's what allowed the 54 to get to them. And obviously they're out of stickers, so they just had to put on the best set of tires they had laying there.
Yeah. Gonna be hard to work through the field. Now this guy here, 68 car, does have some freshies. He's sticking them on.
Yes, he does. Brandon Brown, Doug Randolph, crew chief in that car. I worked with Doug for a little bit. It's a really good move. They'll have probably 14, 13 laps when they go back racing, and we'll see what they can make up. Eric.
Yeah, the 7 car, Justin Allgaier on pit road right here. Came on the radio, said something was definitely broke. Sounds like something in the right rear is going to be the issue for him. Brushed the wall and felt the issue after that.
I can't tell you how many times I've been here and had something broke, and then we get back to the shop and it's like, nothing broke, guys. Just
that's the worst feeling,
yeah,
too.
the cars just handle bad here, right?
They do. I thought that yesterday in practice, and we had a pretty decent car. We were up there in the speed chart, and I felt like I had a 15th to 20th place car. Like, speed chart looked pretty decent. It's like, I guess everyone's car drives really bad. It's just what it is. Hot, slick Charlotte Motor Speedway is like that.
Well, we're going to have another restart here that's going to be interesting. Obviously, Ty has had some good starts on the outside, but I think as you come to this final restart, he's going to have the inside lane, and Harrison's probably going to have the outside. So it's definitely going to come down to another restart.
Yeah, this thing is far from over here. You got Ty Gibbs, like you said up front. Don't count out Austin Cindric. He's aggressive. Late race restarts, he'll probably try to make a move. You got Harrison Burton, his teammate up there. I know they both want to win. They're both young. They're going to race aggressive as well. This thing's far from over, Blaney.
It is very far from over. So it's going to be all about the restart, how you launch, if you're on the front row, what push you can get from the second row. And honestly, I'm curious to see what Brandon Brown's going to do on stickers, because there's probably 30 laps on their tires, 25, 30 laps, and hopefully he'll be able to drive up through. And I don't know, Kevin, what do you think?
I try not to. So that's usually what happens in this particular situation, is we all lose our minds and start pushing and shoving more than we have in the past. But let's throw it down to Eric.
Yeah, guys, I'm down here at the 54 box, listening to his radio after the incident there. Obviously, no intention. Ty was pretty apologetic, making sure that he wanted him to know that he was trying to race him. Obviously, not make a mistake. How tough can that? That's pretty tough sometimes for a young guy to come back to when you feel like you maybe put somebody else in a bad spot.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to be watching the 20 car of Harrison Burton. He hasn't won yet with Jason Ratcliffe on top of the pit box. I've got a lot of wins with Jason, so got two Gibbs guys up front. It's going to be fun to watch him duke it out.
Yeah, for sure. And I think as you look at the two Gibbs cars up front, you can't count out Austin Cindric and Justin Haley in the second row there, because, well, we assume that they're going to be on the second row, and they are.
Yep.
But you can't count those guys out, and it's going to come down to just exactly what we talked about: who doesn't spin the tires as much as the other guy, and who can get the best push.
Yeah. And they have pretty old tires on, so it's going to be really important to try to launch good and get your rears cleaned up. So we got some Harrison Burton audio.
No, stay on the bottom. No, let's play it to win. It's a win, man. I got faith in you. Line up beside that dude, man. Go get him.
I like it.
There you go.
I like that move.
I do too.
You got to take the front row opportunity, especially with 15 laps to go in this race.
It's pretty tough to win from third without some big maneuver,
Yeah.
which can happen. That definitely can happen, but I think I'd rather take the top and give it a shot there.
And you look at those finishes for Ty Gibbs. Obviously, we talked about the Daytona Road Course, and second, fourth, 18th, fifth, and here we are, 15 laps from the end, and he's got a shot to win another one.
Pressure. This is all about the high pressure moment right here. You got to execute this restart. We got the 11 radio for the restart here. It'll be fun to listen to in fourth place.
Halfway through, stand line, get to it, right with you, get up, there's your line, get up. Get back down here, you're top at three.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, they're wrecking a lot of cars here.
Justin Haley, Daniel Hemrick's in it, Michael Annette, Tommy Joe, Martin.
And that's exactly what we just talked about.
Old tires.
The old tires, who spins them, who doesn't, and the pushing and shoving that you have to do because somebody might get away with it and win the race. And this time, they didn't get away with it.
Yeah, Harrison Burton had a great restart there. Being able to hang on the outside there. They were 2x2, and then the push came from Cindric pushing ahead the 54, and I'm not sure what happened after that. There was chaos, obviously. A lot of tore-up race cars here.
Let's take a look at this last restart. See what happened.
And you just got everyone stacking on top of each other. The 9 making a move on the 11. Oh my gosh, this is tight. And
they just ran out of room.
Yeah, something with the 19 to 98. All kind of started somewhere in there and
yeah,
off it went.
I think a lot of it started when the 9 went to the outside and the guys on the bottom probably didn't realize that there was an extra car all the way up against the wall. You see the 9 pop out, and the 18 and the 19 make contact there because the 19 can't go up.
Yep. And the poor 11 of Justin Haley, he's just out there arcing the corner out like he's going to be all right and gets tagged out of nowhere. I bet that was a surprise. Not a good surprise. Let's watch it from the 11 on board. Listen.
Yeah, I mean, he had no idea. No. He got blindsided. Which is, you know, I like the point you guys brought up of, you know, it's the end of the race, and, you know, we saw the 9 jump out to try to get outside the 11, and that just spreads everything out, and so everyone tries to go in the middle, and then you kind of forget. It's easy to lose kind of where you're at or how many cars are to your inside or outside, and that's just what these restarts do as we get in the later stages of these races. Everyone wants to go, has to go, and if you have a run, you take it, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
And it's always interesting here to me as you leave this last section of the tri-oval, how it, you know, the bottom lane is actually a lane below the groove of the corner. So you actually have to come up 2 lanes. And so it's like you go through the tri-oval and everybody comes up, and then you have to come up one more time. And I think that's really what happened there is the 9 car was there, and you have to work up an extra lane that you don't anticipate until you get to the corner as it all funnels down.
It's not a very wide racetrack.
No.
It's definitely very, very narrow, you know, with this, you know, double dog leg, you know, quad oval, whatever everybody calls it now. That's definitely, yeah, tough. And gosh, there's so much damage there. We're going to have to deal with this tomorrow a lot, guys. These restarts will be crazy. Christopher Bell, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm down here with my former crew chief, Jason Ratcliffe. Jason, you got Harrison in position here to race for the win. You have any advice for him on the radio?
Well, right now, I think the biggest thing on restarts has just been lane choice. It's so tough, you know, the outside lane's been tough, but obviously you can't pass it up if you got a shot at the front row. He did a really nice job there on that restart. It's just difficult in the top lane. I think we're going to line up on the bottom this time behind the 54, so who knows? Our car's better. We've been working on it all day. It didn't start off very good, but the guys have done a great job on pit road, so we're in contention. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, good luck. We'll go to Eric.
Yeah, I'm down there with Chris Gale. Chris, it's been a pretty hectic day to say the least, but it's been a good one here at the end, and now you're in contention to win. So really, I guess my question is, what can you say about Ty Gibbs and what he's been able to do in his starts here in the Xfinity Series?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy when you look at the stats, really. Like, he's done one heck of a job. And, yeah, you mentioned the up and down day today. Man, my heart can't take much more of this, right? Spin, come back, and it's got a contention to win. We'll see. You know, one restart away.
Right. Good luck.
Thank you.
You know, someone I pointed out earlier, brand new tires on Brandon Brown's car, and he's going to restart 10th. I like where Brandon Brown is at right now.
I like it. He might be a little bit too far back to go for the win, but he can top 5 this thing.
I think he can
for
too.
Sure.
Put it at the top. Let's go.
And I think that'd be huge. I mean, that's a smaller race team, you know. So you can find a way to out-strategize them, do something different, get cautions where you need them to, miss wrecks like you just saw there a second ago. You're going to come out with a good finish. He has a great shot at that. And you see some other teams, you know, Clements right up there, LeBay as well in 9th place. You know, some other, you know, teams that need some really good runs, which would be cool. And also, you look at the rundown there. There's Tyler Reddick. Always around 4th place. Don't count him out yet. Don't count him out.
And that was my next thing is you got Cindric 2nd.
Yeah.
And, you know, we haven't seen him starting on the front row, and we all know that he's going to do a good job most likely on the restart and have a new mix to that front row and a different person than Ty Gibbs started to last time, because Cindric was the reason he was so far out front. He was the pusher.
Yeah, and so it'll be interesting if things go how I think they're going to go is going to be Ty and Austin on the front row. And then I think Burton's going to take 3rd and push his teammate. And then you have a really experienced guy with Tyler Reddick in 4th. And so those 2 guys on the top, I could see them getting good restarts and really trying to keep them side by side with the leaders of the top 2 cars here on the top.
Yeah.
There you see Ty's mom up on the pit box, and Harrison Burton's mom up on the pit box. It's great to see people back up on top of the pit box.
I know it. It's great to see people back at the racetrack here in Charlotte as well.
So we're going to go back and take a look at Ty Gibbs' first win. And this to me is one of my favorite moments. Right through the grass.
How he didn't rip the nose off the thing is
That's
beyond
what I was going to say. If I had went right through the grass, I would have been looking for the splitter.
The pass in the grass, for real. That was amazing.
But, you know, I think it just goes right back to what we've talked about already. I mean, first race, pressure situation here today, and he just keeps answering the call time after time after time. You can say, well, he has good cars or he has this. In the end, you have to perform. You have to be able to perform in those pressure situations like you talked about earlier, Joey.
Like we talked about, you got to perform on high pressure, and you have to win. I say this all the time. You got to learn how to win races. And, you know, Ty's obviously been able to do that right off the bat. But you see anybody that moves up out of this series, they win a lot. Tyler Reddick, you know, Austin Cindric's moving up, winning a championship last year, winning a lot of races. You know, Chase Briscoe, who was up front about to win today, won a lot of races and moved up. You know, Christopher Bell, Eric Jones, right? All these guys that have moved up into the big leagues win Xfinity races a lot.
And I don't think there's any more pressure than having to do a bunch of restarts right after another. There's just so many chances to mess up a restart, spin your tires, or don't clear a guy. That's tough. Ty Dillon having a good run, up to 6th today.
And you've got Jeremy Clements behind him.
Alex LeBay 8th.
And Ty Gibbs is just getting warmed up. When we get done today, he's going to run the ARCA race tonight.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, good practice for him then.
Double sweat.
I didn't even know there was an ARCA race tonight. Jamie Little's going to be up in the booth for the ARCA race.
Matt DiBenedetto.
Matt.
Yeah, going to be calling the ARCA Menards series. So I did the race at Talladega. As we go to the choose cone.
Here it is, just like you called it.
Yeah. I get one right every now and then.
Yeah, and look, guys. I mean, this is usually what it comes down to when you start having cautions. If that race breaks up into having 2 or 3 cautions, it's going to come down to the restart and the same things that it has come down to all day. Who could spin the tires the least and who gets the best push. But Austin Cindric is a new player up there.
How about Laney Castle having a good day? Currently 10th. It's good for that team.
Now, Brandon Brown took the bottom here. I don't know about that move.
Very surprised by that move.
I think I would have taken the top if I have tires. I need a little free running room to use my tires, but
yeah,
I've been wrong a few times on restarts before.
He's in the top.
Oh, is he on the top? Oh, I thought I saw him pick the bottom. Okay, I like that move. I
take that back.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Good job, Brandon.
It's exactly what I would have done.
Put it in the wind.
That's it, exactly. Put it in the wind. Find any clean air you can get.
Been keeping that wall card in his pocket. They've been saving the wall for this very moment. Running the fence.
Boy, this is intense, guys. 8 laps to go.
I'm nervous. Tyler Reddick couldn't really get going there and not really giving any help to the 22, and Ty Gibbs is going to clear it.
Clear him easy before he gets down into the corner.
Yeah, and those guys
going to lose second.
They did a great job.
Crossover here.
Yeah, good crossover.
There's Ty Dillon right behind him as well.
Look at Brandon Brown.
Look
coming
at him
on the bottom.
Dude, he is passing cars.
He is rolling. Up to 6th, looking for 5th. Got those new tires ready.
And that's just a gutsy call. I mean, Doug Randolph took the chance to save those tires, and right now it is paying off big time.
Yes, it is.
Jeb going to help him out here a little bit.
This is a big pass to get cleared here. One more caution for him could be a whole different game.
Yeah. That's a great run by that small team.
Right into the top 5. And he's not done yet. Those guys are just right there. Tyler Reddick, Harrison Burton, Austin Cindric, all right there. A good battle for second place here with 5 to go. And this is when, I tell you, your heart rate is through the moon. You are getting all you can get out of this thing. It's 5 qualifying laps, all you got. Trying to keep the car you got behind you, still trying to search for the lead. This is what it's all about.
And they haven't had tires in a while. You know, they've been out there, and these cars are a handful right now. They've been sliding around this whole run, and now they're, racing for the win here at the end.
Briscoe, good recovery as well, 7th place. He doesn't have new tires. Put newer tires on probably after he spun out racing for the lead.
Yeah, and that set probably had about 18 laps or so, 17, 18 laps on them, and they were cold.
Yeah.
Cold tires are sometimes a huge benefit.
I'll tell you, Austin Cindric's not necessarily going away. He ran a little bit faster than Ty Gibbs, about a 10th faster than him that run, or that last lap. We'll see if he can close in the gap a tiny bit more as Brandon Brown is passing Tyler Reddick for 4th.
Look at this run he is praying for a caution because he will have a shot at winning this thing if the caution comes out right now.
If he could have a caution, he would start, probably 4th. I mean, he'll be in the second row and have a really great shot at it.
Right here, Ty Gibbs with an amazing run in this race, recovering from a spin, trying to hold off one of the best in the Xfinity Series, Austin Cindric right now. This is a battle right here.
Yeah, and he just, in today's race, he had to do it over and over and over. From a spin out, from a restart, to another restart, to another restart. And as the white flag waves, we have 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
You said it earlier, Kevin, grind it out. That's what he's been able to do today, grinding it out, passing cars, putting himself in position, restarting when he needs to restart good, and he's putting himself in position to get through one more corner to bring that 54 into victory lane.
And Ty Gibbs, 18 years, 7 months, and 25 days, years old. He will become the youngest winner in any division, any of the 3 National Touring Series divisions, to win at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Great job by Ty.
Great job.
Let's see, Coach. His mom, Heather.
It's really unbelievable. And I think, a lot of people are in the same boat as we are. Like, where did Ty Gibbs come from? And
right.
and the expectations they're high. And, I think that, like you said, Joey, the expectation is to go out and win. And that's really how you make a mark for yourself, is to go out and win on the racetrack. And in the end, Ty Gibbs has done it time after time, every time he's had the opportunity, and has done a great job.
And different kinds of racetrack.
Yeah.
Right? Road course, 1.5 miles. He ran well at Phoenix, too, on a short track. He's figuring out the donuts a little better now, too, which is great for everybody involved.
And like you said, he came over, he had a bunch of adversity today, spinning out off 4, coming back, restarts, things like that. He did everything really good. So congrats to him. He definitely has a bright future, that's for sure.
And we really appreciate him giving our drone a few more good camera shots for the day.
Michael wheeling that drone.
And the coach is just, there's a lot of pressure on the kid, and I think as coach sits there and us being parents and being a grandparent would be exactly the same, and just, I can't imagine. What a feeling it has to be for coach.
I mean, it's one thing watching your car win. It's a different thing watching your grandson win in your car.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole different level.
But they've done a great job. And I think when you look at that system of development that they put him through, obviously you need to pay attention to how it was done. Eric?
Yeah, we're down here with Ty Gibbs on the front straightaway. Quite a day. Second win in 6 Xfinity Series starts. But this one has to be a little bit more exciting than the first. Ty, coming from a spin early in the day, how did you come back through the field and get back up front to win this race?
Yeah, first off, I just want to say sorry to the 99 and Chase and his crew. I didn't hit him, but I definitely helped him out with, him getting loose there, and that was not my intentions. I already wrecked myself, so I just want to say sorry to them more importantly than this entire win. But it's just awesome. It's good to see you too. I haven't seen you in a little bit, but I'll take it. This is a good day. We got one more to go, so I just want to say thank you to all the fans out there, and hell yeah.
Ty, how much more does it mean? Your first win came on a road course, but it has to mean something a little bit more special here to win one on an oval.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely nice to win on the oval, especially in my hometown. I'm 30 minutes away from here, so it's nice to, you know, have a win at least once today. But, you know, I can't thank Monster Energy, Jacobs Racing, and to all the sponsors out there. There's a lot of open real estate, so hit me up.
All right, Ty.